So, yeah, so I did a lot of that. So we're set.
I try to stay current on. You're doing a great job, babe. You're doing a great job.
So I sit in the seats like this. Cross legs and arms. I can't fit anything down.
Well, good morning once again. I'm going to go ahead and begin. I'm Trish Christensen. I am the President and CEO of the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all for joining us today. I would like to introduce Ryan Amaral, our MC for today's program. Ryan is a program specialist here at Modesto Junior College, representing career technical education programs across campus. He has worked at MJC for the past 4 years and oversees outreach, recruitment, marketing, and event planning efforts for all CTE areas. He is also active in the Modesto Chamber of Commerce currently through our Leadership Modesto program, class of 2022. Ryan was born and raised in Denver, California, and graduated from Pittman High School in 2006. While attending Pittman, he was elected to represent California FFA as the state FFA treasurer for 2006-2007. He was awarded his American Farmer degree. Little generational competition up here. He was awarded his American Farmer degree in 2007, the organization's highest honor of membership. Ryan attended Modesto Junior College and graduated from California State University, Chico, with his bachelor's in agricultural business. After graduating from Chico, Ryan moved to Indianapolis, Indiana to work for National FFA at the organization's headquarters. There he managed collegiate education programs for the national membership. Ryan moved back to the Central Valley in 2018. Ryan currently serves as membership chair for Turlock Sunrise Rotary, District RYLA chair for Rotary District 5220, vice chair for Central Valley FFA Ag Advisory Committee, and several other committees around Stanislaus County. Clearly, he has a passion for Ag and FFA. When Ryan is not at MJC, you can find him with his daughter Franklin, hanging out with his 5 nieces, and traveling the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Trish. And welcome everyone to the 60th Annual Modesto Chamber of Commerce Harvest Luncheon. It is my pleasure and honor to serve as MC for today's program. Today we've gathered at the Agriculture Center for Education here at MJC to celebrate what connects all of the residents here in Stanislaus County, both agriculture and education. Let's review a few of the impressive agricultural stats we have here for Stanislaus County. In the year 2020, there were roughly 944,000 million acres were harvested. 944,000 acres were harvested in Stanislaus County, resulting in a total agricultural commodity value of over $3.57 billion, according to the 2020 Stanislaus County Crops Report. Of that total, the value of the top 5 commodities were as follows. Almonds were $1.1 billion, or roughly 30% of that value. Milk and dairy industry, $636 million, or 17% of that total value. The poultry industry represented $341 million, about 10% of the total value. Cattle and calves, $237 million, about 7%. And nursery, fruit, nut trees, and vines, $170 million, about 5%. Last year, Stanislaus County alone produced more agricultural goods than the entirety of 20 full U.S. states. Also, a large portion of the county's agricultural commodities were exported. And last year, agricultural goods were exported to from Stanislaus County, were exported to over 100 different countries. These are just a few of our county's impressive statistics, and today we have come together to celebrate this year's harvest in Bounty. We celebrate not only this year's harvest, but also the MJC students studying agriculture, recognizing the future impact that they will have on this industry. Each and every one of us here today has an impact on the agriculture industry. As leaders and influencers in our county, we must continue to invest in our future and support the youth in our community. By supporting the Harvest Luncheon, you are doing just that, and we thank you. Everyone give yourself a round of applause. It is now my pleasure to welcome Trish back to the podium.
Thank you, Ryan. I too would like to welcome you to the 60th Annual Harvest Luncheon on behalf of the Modesto Chamber of Commerce. Can we please take a moment to acknowledge the dignitaries we have in attendance and their representatives? Please stand so we can show our appreciation. And could I also ask for Chamber board members and volunteers, if you're in the audience, please stand so you could be recognized. There we go, thank you. Here in the Valley, we know that agriculture is the backbone of our region. It is an international commercial industry to be reckoned with. The tradition this event has enjoyed is a testimony to the importance that agriculture plays in our local community. For the last 60 years, the Modesto Chamber of Commerce has understood and appreciated our farms, our ranches, our food processors, and all the various byproduct businesses that go along with that. Harvest Luncheon allows the Modesto Chamber of Commerce to show its support for local education, in this case, Modesto Junior College Agricultural Students and Programs. MJC's renowned agriculture program has trained future farmers and agribusiness leaders for over 90 years. For decades, many of these MJC graduates have been recipients of the Boss Berryhill Scholarship Fund. The students highlighted in the scrolling slides today are recipients from the 2021 Scholarship Awards. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the Berryhill family members that are with us today. Please give them a round of applause. So Ryan, back to you.
At this time, join me in welcoming Jeremiah Williams to the podium. Jeremiah is a longtime supporter of this event, as well as the Chamber's annual Spring Ag Aware Luncheon, which benefits our local FFA programs. He will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, invocation, and we'll follow that with the singing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and welcome Mr. Jeremiah Williams.
Thank you. Okay, I got 3 claps. Come on. Testing, there we go. When Trish said to stand and recognize the dignitaries, I was surprised that the most important person in here didn't, and that is her husband, Charlie Christensen. Let's give Charlie a round of applause for everything he has to do to make her look good. Let us now do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will you now bow your heads? Heavenly Father, we come before asking your divine favor upon our lands. We ask you, Lord, that it would not be bountiful, that water would come from below as well as above, that it may nourish this land, that we will be able to have a wonderful crop on all spectrums. We thank you for each and every 4-H and FFA and every farmer that is here that is manufacturing or growing anything that causes us to be the greatest area of the country, Ag Country USA. We thank you for each and every one of the individuals that are here that have come to support not only the Chamber of Commerce, not only MJC, but everyone that is in this region. We ask you to bless the food that it may nourish our body and give us strength to continue to do good work in this community. And let everybody say amen.
Amen.
Let everybody say amen. Let everybody say amen. That's a little better. At this time, before we do the national anthem, we are on the heels of a day that we will never forget. I know this is the Ag Luncheon, but tomorrow is 9/11, when we remember the fallen. 2 days when we remember the fallen. And at that moment in time where people lost their lives, including those who fought to keep others alive, we want to take a moment of silence for them, as well as all those who serve this country before we do the national anthem. Will you please bow your head and for a moment of silence before the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Jeremiah. That was amazing. An amazing way to kick off our meal here together. And now it's time to do just that. It's time, probably everybody's favorite part of the actual show. We're going to start our lunch program. So how this is going to work is we're going to dismiss tables from the right side of the pavilion, my right, the right side of the pavilion all the way down to the left-hand side. We are going to dismiss the first row of tables, the whole first row over there is going to go in, and then our intern Faith over there, the white shirt, wave your hand, Faith. She's going to dismiss tables after that, the whole rows at a time. We're going to go on the middle of the food aisles, and we have our, we're going to go around the outside of the food aisles, and our FFA members, as well as our MJC members here in attendance, are going to serve you your today's meal. So with that, enjoy your lunch, and we will be back soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. No, thank you. Where do we go next? This way? Right? Yeah, that's right. Hi, Evan. Thank you so
So I've got one more. I have one more. Come on, bro.
Enjoy your meal while we move on with the program. We have luncheon here. We want to make sure everybody's able to get back to work in a relatively quick manner. We're going to start this afternoon by hearing from two current NJC students that are involved in the agriculture program here, Erica Mattingly and Anthony Aguila. Our first speaker is Miss Erica Mattingly. Erica is a Turlock High alumni where she discovered her passion for the agriculture industry. She is currently in her third year here at NJC and is excited to reach the milestone of earning an associate's degree in agriculture sciences this coming spring semester. Erica is excited to continue her education at a four-year university to earn a bachelor's degree in agriculture education, to become a high school agriculture teacher and FFA advisor. Join me in welcoming Erica to the podium.
Good afternoon and welcome. I hope everyone is enjoying their time here so far. My name is Erica Mattingly, and I was invited today to tell you why I chose NJC. But first, I would like to tell you a story. Now, before the story begins, I'm going to ask you all to do two things. The first thing is going to be to set yourself back in time when you were just starting high school. Now, I know for some of you that this may be a little farther back than for others, but just try your best to remember. The second thing, with those memories and flashbacks in mind, I'm now going to ask you to flip your imagination switch on. With these two items of business being accomplished, let's hear what the story's about. Before high school started, a part of a young girl's life was dark, and it felt like living in a tunnel with no light inside. She was raised in her grandparents' roof with no father figure and no financial or emotional support from him. Let alone her mother thought she was able to support two children of her own. After moving away, their mother married a man who was physically and verbally abusive. This then caused turmoil in many dark days, coping with bullying at school, cops being called at home, and being evicted. Going through all of these things led them to being homeless and living out of a car for 2 years. During this period of time, education was the last priority. Finally, an offer to live with extended family became the light at the end of the tunnel, although the offer was only extended to the little girl. She took this opportunity without hesitation to pick up her life and make a future out of it. Now, she has the ability to participate in extracurricular activities, such as Future Farmers of America, which she had known nothing about, but still found herself eagerly waiting for new hands-on experiences. Being a part of CEs, including horticulture and viticulture, attending conferences, and becoming a chapter officer. As she was able to attend high school like a normal student, eventually visually walking across the stage with her high school diploma. Never did that young girl, sleeping in her car, would have ever imagined that college was an option. But now that young woman standing in front of me today cannot be more excited to have opportunities like these. I choose NJC because of the countless opportunities that the School of Agriculture has to offer their students. The professors are constantly searching for ways to educate and mentor each student down the path to success. I can confidently say my success here at NJC would not be possible if it was not for the support from my ag instructors. While attending NJC for 2 years, now I have had the ability to grow and develop in my educational and personal life. I find myself being heavily involved in the Young Farmers Club, the West Campus Internship Program, and general events. After NJC, I plan to transfer to Fresno to earn a bachelor's degree in agriculture education, leading the future generations of agriculturalists, and become a figure of guidance. Your support to our school and community is what continues to give other students like myself another chance to have a higher education. Once again, I would like to say thank you for all of your attending today this luncheon and showing continued support to the industry.
Thank you, Erica, for those powerful words. Our next speaker is Mr. Anthony Aguida. Anthony was born and raised on his family's dairy farm in Hickman, California, and is currently a sophomore at NJC majoring in agriculture business. Growing up in an ever-adapting industry, Anthony became involved with the future of the California dairy industry by playing a role in future sustainability projects on his family's dairy and learning about techniques that farmers can take to conserve valuable resources. Serving on the California Milk Advisory Board's social media team, Anthony has showcased day-to-day dairy life on social media through live streams to thousands of viewers across the nation. In his time at NJC, Anthony has taken courses that will help him navigate the business operations as he expands the operation for future generations of his family. Anthony is excited to continue his education at a four-year university next year. Let's welcome Anthony Aguida.
Hello everyone, my name is Anthony Aguida and this is my second year at Modesto Junior College and I am an agriculture business major. On behalf of all of the MJC Ag students, I'd like to thank all of you for attending today. As my introduction mentioned, I've been involved in agriculture my whole life. Growing up as a third generation dairy farmer, I've been able to develop a driven work ethic and learn about the importance in having passion in everything you do, and the hands-on experiences that come along with it. I was asked to share about the experiences that I have gained during my time here at MJC, and I believe that a lot of what drove me to this school has to do with the same skills that I gained growing up on Alberta Dairy. Anyone can agree that professors and staff in the Ag department at NJC share the same passion for agriculture and also value the same hands-on experiences. Coming to college, I was skeptical about what the atmosphere would be like. I was certain that I would miss the family aspect of my close-knit FFA chapter, where I was actively involved in CDE, LDE, and officer teams. However, the very first time that I walked into the East Campus Ag offices and witnessed the friendly environment, I found myself excited for the days that I would get to come to school. There has never been a time where I didn't notice someone going the extra mile for a student. Outside of MJC, I've had the opportunity to showcase life on a dairy farm through the California Milk Advisory Board social media team that I serve on. Here, I have the chance to explain the sustainability that takes place on a dairy farm to people who are unfamiliar with it. Even in these personal projects of mine, the staff and faculty in the Ag department at NJC have always lended me a helping hand, whether it was in my state and national FFA competitions or in my advocacy goals. Being in the Young Farmers Club on campus, I've learned the importance of building connections with other agriculturalists and the impacts that can hold in our local community. Last year, I was able to conduct the very first MJC Young Farmers Club milk drive. We raised funds and donated hundreds of gallons of milk to local food banks. Not only was this a chance to support the dairy industry, but we were able to provide a wholesome product for those in need, specifically in our community. Nothing like that would be possible without the supporters of the MJC Ag Department. Overall, the contributions of community members such as yourselves have allowed me and so many other students to become involved in the agriculture community. After MJC, I will be transferring to Fresno State to pursue a bachelor's degree in agriculture business. I will continue to be a voice for the agriculture industry while operating my family's dairy. I've learned that with strong advocates in our industry, we can emphasize the uniqueness of American agriculture. Thank you.
It is very clear that the future of the agriculture industry is in great hands with these two and all of our other MJC students and FFA members in attendance today. Let's show our appreciation of our student speakers one more time. Our keynote speaker today is no stranger to the agriculture industry and advocating for farmers, water, and the agriculture industry as a whole. Wayne Zipser recently retired as the Executive Manager of the Stanislaus County Farm Bureau in Modesto. He has been involved with Farm Bureau for over 35 years as Director, an Officer, President, and Executive Director, and now finally taking on the role of member in the organization, a pretty important role for a grassroots organization. Wayne oversaw all operations of Stanislaus County Farm Bureau and was an integral part of the management of the East San Joaquin Water Quality Coalition. Wayne was born and raised in Ceres, California, and graduated from Ceres High School in 1972. While at Ceres High School, he was elected as treasurer of the California State FFA organization, great position by the way. He served the California delegation members and was awarded the highest honor in FFA, the American FFA degree in 1974. Wayne attended Modesto Junior College and Fresno State. In 1977, Wayne came home to farm with his father. He has grown almonds, grapes, peaches, and walnuts, to name a few of the crops. Wayne became involved in the Stanislaus County Farm Bureau in 1988, serving as a director. He was elected president of Stanislaus County Farm Bureau and served in that role from 1998 to 2000. In 2003, Wayne came back to the Farm Bureau as executive manager. There is a whole list of other accomplishments that this man has received, but we'll save you from those. We're excited to bring it up today. Join me in welcoming Mr. Wayne Zipser to the podium for today's meeting.
Thank you, Ryan. I must say that these two impressive students here always inspired me always to be involved and serve. And after listening to them, I can see our future is in really good hands. You know, I was called last week to be guest speaker at the Ag Luncheon, and I told the organizers, you know, I just retired. No one wants to hear from this old guy. And our old has-been, you might say. I told them, if you want a dynamic speaker, we have a new executive director of the Farm Bureau, and that's Katie Diemel. She is young, energetic, very brilliant, and she has some great new ideas and new direction that she's going to take the Farm Bureau. I said you could have had her, or Tom Orvis, who has a wealth of information. He's a great dynamic speaker and who is more relevant. And Tom is a great speaker and a wealth of information about the subject of water, which we know is a huge topic right now. However, this is probably my last stand. So I have given probably hundreds of presentations and speeches. Tom and I used to have a radio show called Ag and More, and so when you go through your career, like I did back in when I was a state officer, I had to give my retirement address, and I knew that was the last time that I would wear the blue and gold and give an address in front of people. But then I started thinking, you know, why wouldn't I want to do this? Coming into MJC, why wouldn't I want to do this for an institution that meant so much to me? I have been over the years so passionate about MJC and the ag programs, and I'm so honored to do this today. And I want to thank Modesto Junior College, all the instructors here. They do an amazing job. They paved a huge path for me in my career. You know, it all started right here at Ceres High School. This was the jacket that I wore after I was elected as state treasurer. And it all started here. This is where my career started. And Jeremiah, you were saying, try it on? Yeah, well, now, let me preface, I would try it on, but I have a narrow waist, huge shoulders, and bulging biceps, and it just didn't fit. But it did, you know, and my first ag teachers, Mr. Cully, Mr. Schubert, Mr. Walker, Mr. Rudd, and Mr. Cool. And in today's world of education, and there's no way that you would no way they did back then, back in the 70s, you wouldn't get away with that today. If you weren't paying attention to Mr. Walker's class, animal science class, there was a huge ring of keys with that receptacle that was going to be flying towards your head. And a lot of times it did not hit the intended target. And it might have been somebody else. It always left a mark. But you always remember, you couldn't get away with that today. Mr. Cool took us all out on a field trip, and we all had to participate in castrating pigs. Back then, it didn't matter, boy, girl, didn't matter who you were. If you were a little shy, a little scared about taking a knife to an animal, you had to do it. We had one student that said, I can't do it, Mr. Cool, I have so much pain, I have such a bad toothache, you're not going to believe it. He said, okay, I'll give you a pass today. Come and see me tomorrow. So the next day, that student went back to Mr. Cool's class, and he had said, hey, how's your tooth? And he said, well, I have a horrible abscess. And he said, my parents can't afford it for me to go to the dentist. He said, come over here. So he took him, pulled his head back, and he saw that infected tooth, he yanked that thing out. Today's world, you can't even give a kid an aspirin. It's amazing. And it's funny, I have the Schubert family of ag teachers. Leo Schubert, John, Pius, and I grew up across the road from Ernie and Mary Jane Schubert. So the Schuberts were a big part of my educational life. I raised pigs for a project and was blessed to have many champions over the years. That was a wonderful experience showing at the county fair, Cow Palace, the state fair. And in fact, I remember most of the time, especially at the Cow Palace, we got to sleep in the aisles next to our animals. You know, with all those years showing and being involved with our local county fair in the last 40 years, one thing that's never changed, is that there's nothing more formidable and more dangerous than a pissed off 4-H mom. And you know, I've coached football over the years, and I will tell you, I would love to have that spirit and that passion from a mad 4-H mom in my middle linebacker. They could blitz and be able to take your head off. And I never had that. But anyway, it's been a wonderful experience. It was a big part of what my young FFA life was. My FFA years have brought great memories. In 1972, at the state convention at Cal Poly, I was elected state treasurer, which afforded me the opportunity to travel to state leadership conferences, chapter visits, and in those years pretty much lived out of my car. Today, if you haven't visited the FFA Center in Gulf, please do. It is a beautiful facility with living quarters for state officers. And I I just invite you to come there. I'm a part of the California FFA Foundation. Been a member of that for the last 15 years. And they've done some remarkable things. And the FFA is in wonderful hands. A year later, I received my American Farming degree. And in those years, maybe 10 or 20 students would get their degree at the National Convention. This year, over 500 degrees will be awarded to FFA students at the National Conference. That is amazing. And I want everyone in here who's ever wore the blue and gold, please raise your hand. That's beautiful. That's an amazing amount of people who have done that. 30 years ago, there were 28,000 California FFA members. Today, there are 98,972 members strong, and the state FFA advisor just announced last week that we will go over the 100,000 mark this year. And that is amazing. Please give that a hand. That is the growth has been amazing. When I was city officer, there was about 20,000 FFA members in California. It also shows that there's 44% female and 49% male. So it's pretty evenly split. And that's much different than it looked like when I was in the early 1970s. Ag teachers, as of 2021, there's 967 ag teachers in California FFA programs. Of that, 616 are female and 351 are male. Quite a change in contrast from 50 years ago. There are 347 chapters and the average size is 285. The largest chapter is Hanford with 1,100 members, which means 50% or half of the student body is a member of the FFA. I went on to a wonderful career in farming and Farm Bureau. I am so blessed and I have no regrets. Farm Bureau, which in my mind is an extension of FFA, and we have a wonderful Farm Bureau staff. Katie Demos here, Executive Manager. Tom Harvis is our Governmental Affairs Director. He's here today. Abby Fair couldn't be here today. I don't know if she's here or not, but it's here. She's a wonderful addition. Anna Janesi, Mary, Larry, and all these people are young, energetic, they have the knowledge, and they have the passion to take our local organization to the next level. And I believe it's going to be a much better organization down the road. Folks, I'm going to shake you down a little bit just to ask you, please, your local FFA chapters need. And I know it's hard. The economy isn't roaring like it was, especially the ag economy. But I'm going to tell you that we need them. In this messed up political world in California, we need young leaders who will have the passion and the drive and the knowledge. I want you to support them as much as you can, whether it's the county fair, and their projects, whether it's the chapter fundraiser, whatever it may be, whatever help they may need, please give it to them. You know, those ag teachers I mentioned a while ago, most of them are all gone. Leo Schubert still here. Most of them are all gone. But they paved a huge path for me, for my success in my career and my success in my life, and overall life. And they've been the best coaches, the best mentors that I'd ever had. When I came to NJC, I had the very same thing. I had Mr. John Schubert. I know he's here somewhere. And you know what? And if you've ever been an ag teacher, please raise your hand. Let's give them a round of applause. They paved the way for all of us, and a lot of young people. I know it's hot, and I'm gonna sit down now. I know you probably want to get on your way, but I just want to thank all of you for today. Please, again, talk to your local chapters, talk to your local FFA folks. Make sure you pave the way for other people to come behind us who's going to come behind me. I bid you all farewell, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Wayne, for being here and sharing with us today. Your dedication to the agriculture industry is something we should all aspire to mirror, and we look forward to seeing what you will continue to bring throughout your retirement. As a thank you for speaking here today, and on behalf of the Harvest Luncheon Committee, the Stanislaus County Farm Bureau has made a donation in the amount of $250 to the Future Farmers of America, and they are going to be giving that to the California FFA Foundation. So thank you. Congratulations. If I could have Mr. Don Borges, Dean of the School of Agriculture here at Modesto Junior College, come up to the podium at this time. We would like to present Mr. Borges with the proceeds raised from this year's event, which will be used for the Boss Berry Hill Scholarship Fund. Congratulations, we have raised $15,000 for the Boss Berry Hill Scholarship. At this time, we'd like to bring up our fearless leader, Trish, back to the podium to acknowledge our sponsors.
Thank you. And I'm going to go off script and just say, I honestly hope this is not your last stand. You organically just are just traveling right over to mentor to Paul, and I think your message was impressive, so thank you. So before we close, I'd like to acknowledge our sponsors. Our platinum sponsor today for this event is the Mapes and Lions family. Our gold level sponsor was American Chevrolet. Our silver sponsors are JS West and Yosemite Farm Credit. Our equipment sponsor is Turlock Irrigation District. And a big thank you to our in-kind donors, American Ag Credit, Virtual Nursery, Crystal Creamery, Del Monte Foods, Flowers Baking Company, Hillmar Cheese Company, JS West, Perez Ranch, RAM Farms, Stanislaus County Farm Bureau, Stewart and Jasper, Trainer Dried Fruit, Turlock Fruit, and Yosemite Farm Credit. Didn't that collectively make an excellent meal today? Let's give them all a round of applause. We also like to give a round of applause to all of our many table sponsors today. Thank you as well.
We'd like to say thank you to all those who made this year's event possible. There are many dedicated people and volunteers who work behind the scenes to make sure this event is a success. As we hear our names, please stand and remain standing, and we'll hold all applause until the end. So if we could have Mr. Borges, John Macedo, the MJC staff, and MJC agriculture students, and our local FFA advisors and members, please stand. Thank you to the Modesto Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Trish Christensen and all of the Chamber staff. Please stand. And let's recognize the Harvest Luncheon Committee. Please stand when you hear your name recognized. Rachel Marcus, Modesto City Schools. Don Borges, Modesto Junior College. Trish Christensen, Modesto Chamber of Commerce. Jeannie DeSimone, American Ag Credit. Jace Hugenbauer, Terra West Group. Audrey Lopes, Dermond. Felicia Lopez, Modesto Chamber of Commerce. John Macedo, Modesto Junior College. Melba, I told you you were getting a shout out. Melba Miyamoto, Yosemite Farm Credit. Kelly Monk, JS West Company. Donnie Rocha, Terra West Group. Carrie Santos, I.J. Larson Pumps, Craig Shar, Atherton and Associates, Nikki Shiver, Yosemite Farm Credit, and Christy Short, Modesto City Schools. And of course, thank you to the Modesto Junior College Agriculture Department for hosting this event. This event wouldn't be possible without the space that we're able to have it in. So again, thank you MJC Agriculture. If you notice, our Yosemite Farm Credit people are in the back with some bags. Those are for you to grab the stuff that's at the table for you. So don't forget to take with you the locally grown fruits and nuts at your table. There are bags available. You can see the representatives at the end. With that, we want to thank you for your generous sponsorship to Modesto Junior College. Thank you to Trish Christensen with the Modesto Chamber of Commerce, to Wayne Zipser for your speaking today, and for our student speakers here as well. And thank you everyone for attending this event. Have a great afternoon.
Someone told me the door donations to the local pool. So I gave them a piece of one. Oh, I'm a dad. Write the book. I could help John out.
Bye now. Thanks again.